So once it goes red, okay, we are live now. So
Okay,
good evening, Uday.
good
Thank you so much for you know agreeing to play this match 2020. And I know you personally since last 2 years, I guess. Um,
I
right?
think 1.5 years. One and a half.
One, yeah, but it looks as if we know each other for a long time because we've had such great conversations together. Specifically around the work you do other than this triathlon. You are a good speaker and you do take sessions. So yeah, we will come to that as we go ahead. But I want you to give an introduction about yourself, what you do in your personal life, and the family around you, and everything that you are passionate about.
Okay. Okay. Good evening, sir. It is always a pleasure to talk to you. I'll briefly talk about my background. Actually, I was born brought up in Mumbai only, and in fact, we are in Mumbai for three generations.
Wow.
Uh, Even my mother's side also, they are in Mumbai for three generations. My father's side also, we are here for three generations. तो बेसिकली हमारा कोई गांव नहीं है हमारा मुंबई ही गांव है so, that is how it is and I was born in a affluent family we were staying in Santa Cruz and I had a good childhood in Santa Cruz and absolutely no scarcity for anything and I did my schooling in Santa Cruz only I studied in a vernacular medium uh, uh, life was normal, absolutely no problem. Only thing when as a kid I got a major illness of TB. So it was in the first or second stage, and I had to go through a prolonged treatment. And fortunately, uh, I was recovered well. We were staying in a joint family, Sunil, with my uncle. We had a big house, so there were about 12 people in the house. But although house was very big, and we really had a fun. I had three cousin brothers, and my brother, my own brother. So five of us. Then my sisters. We used to have a ball of a time in Santa Cruz. That was my earlier memory goes. We really enjoyed. Only thing I was labeled as a sick child because I went through the prolonged illness. So my brothers and they were laughing. They made a mockery of me. You can say, but that was all innocent. I never took it as an offense, and we really enjoyed. During school, I was okay. I was an average student academically, but I was good in cricket in my school. So I used to play cricket, and I had one friend from the schooling days. We did school together, we did college together, and both of us we were known as Sachin Tendulkar and Vinod Kambli of our school.
Wow.
Although we were not that skilled, but we were named because we were responsible for winning a lot of matches for our school and we took it we won the inter-school final also and
Okay.
both of us my friend Mayank, his name is Mayank, and both of us we shined in that match. So we had I was good in cricket. Then I moved to college in Bandra, engineering college, which was Father Agnell Engineering College, and there also we had a good time. I was part of my college team also in the beginning. I was actually a good wicket-keeper batsman as far as cricket goes.
Oh.
Uh, but again, in the college, it's a different culture, it's a different environment. There is politics, there is a lot of things compared to school. School, I was a hero. But in college, the scene was totally different, and you can say there was some politics, and I was ignored. Whereas my friend had progressed there. Also, during those days, my father had a setback. in his business, and he also had a heart attack.
Oh.
So we had to move in a remote place called Kandivali. Those days remote. Now it is heart of the city. You can say. In a one room kitchen. So there was a overnight setback for all of us. And there was a new place. It was kind of a village those days, and there was no, of course, no cricket facility, nothing. So slowly, I lost touch in cricket, and I was focusing. We were like more of struggling those days, you can say. So I was in college. I completed my diploma in production and I passed with the first class. So study wise, absolutely there was no problem. See, earlier I was a bit casual and happy-go-lucky types in my school or initial years of college. But because of my father's condition, I became more serious about study,
Oh. Okay.
and I realized I had to be serious. I had to be serious in life. So I focused in my study. I completed diploma in production engineering. And I wanted to do computer engineering because my friend Mayank, whom I referred to you earlier, a cricket man.
Mm-hmm.
So he was forcing me, but those days I got a small, job. I So I was in double mind whether to do job or continue studying. I wanted to study, but seeing the condition at home, I had to take a call that I let me start earning so that I can support my family to the best of my ability. And I was referring to Monica Joshi's interview, and she said that she felt she was kind of unpaired. So even I carry that feeling that I just did diploma and then I could never pursue study. So I also have that feeling of unpaired, compared to, because all my friends are MBA, they are double grad. So I have this thing that I'm undergrad. Nevertheless, so then there was a struggle, Sunil. As I passed out and I was doing job. I remember my first salary was 800 rupees as a
Oh my
trainee
God.
engineer. But I had a friend circle because I'm from my early days. I always had a lot of friends, and I was kind of I used to enjoy hang out, go out, and all that. So that continued. So that was bit of a period where I was not enjoying actually what I was doing. At the
Okay.
same time, I had responsibility to support my family. So those were the days. And I remember one day I was got so fed up in my company. It was a small company manufacturing submersible pumps, and I was a quality engineer over there. And suddenly I realized that this is not for me. I can't survive here. So okay, those days I was also good at drama. So I used to take part in drama competitions in the school, and that's when one of my friend, she's a eminent actress in Gujarati theatre. She had also done some Hindi films. Her name is Minal Rawal. Okay, so she had seen me doing drama for in a cultural programs or in just in the society programs or like that club programs. So she said, "Why don't you take up drama?" And she introduced me to personality called Dinesh Thakur. I don't know if you have heard of him. So he was an eminent Hindi playmaker,
Yeah.
where all this Makaran Deshpande and all that they are product of his group. And yeah, so my visit, so I was associated basically with Prithvi Theatre, which is a very renowned theatre in Mumbai, in
Mm.
Juhu. Actually, it is very near to our friend Vikram Bawa's house.
Okay.
So I was and I was enjoying there. And those days, Sunil, I have seen Paresh Rawal, I have seen Shafi Namdar, and all these people. They were struggling, and I was also trying to enter in their group because they were active in a place called Bhaidas, which is also a drama theater. And actually, I was trying to. I remember the days where I used to bring vada pav for these guys, all strugglers, and hoping that they'll give me some chance in drama. So I did all sorts of, and in the meantime, I started cricket also. I thought, let me try. And I tell you one thing, uh, those days, my cricket selling was so good that some people used to call me as a Lance Gibbs. So Lance Gibbs was a famous all-rounder from West Indies. So I also used to do spin bowling. So they loved me. Some people loved my style, and I always went for technique. So I was good at technique and all that. So I was kind of swinging between cricket and drama. So cricket, I didn't get my more opportunity, and unfortunately, few opportunity that I got where I failed to perform. So I could not progress over there, and so my father was worried about it, and he said, "Look, this cricket and all, it's not for us. You don't have any godfather here, and plus we don't have money. You require a lot of money to get to next level, or you require a lot of you require a godfather to be there." So I realized, okay, forget it. So I just came out of it, and drama also I spent some 1.5 years, but nothing was happening drama, because this, I must tell you that this culture of this industry is a very vague culture, and people live a very vague lifestyle. So then I realized that there is no future here. I have to be, otherwise, I'll waste my life. And I was not getting any opportunity also. Okay, then independently in one of the competition at one drama, and there was like a competition where there were many dramas in the competition, and I won runners up trophy as a director
अरे वाह.
for that drama, and I got an award from Shashi Kapoor.
Oh wow.
So that was a high point I had. But then slowly I realized, there's nothing in it for me. Plus, there were some, problems constrained at the home. So I had to look after them. So finally, in the year 1993, 94, one of my professor from Father Egnal College, he said, look, if you want to start a factory, I can give you some order, and you can start a factory with a small setup, and I can give you good orders. So I had nothing else, so this was the only thing, so I jumped into it, and somehow I managed to buy some machine, actually on the lease I got, and I didn't have money actually, so I got some loan, and got a couple of small machines like power press and all that. So basically, they are used to make sheet metal parts. That
Okay.
means all material parts, and I had some knowledge about it. So somehow I got some place on rent, and subsequently my father had small place that he gave it to me. So I started, Sunil. I was actually, but I had no money to give to hire workers. So I used to do everything myself. I used to clean my factory in the morning, then set all the toolings in the on the machine, and I used to work myself on a machine like a worker from morning to evening. And then in the evening, I would all the production I would gather, and I would put it in the gunny bag. I would do the stitching also, and then I would transport it to my customer. And early morning, I used to go to my customer's office to collect the payment. So
Oh.
that was the scene. I don't know. One interesting thing I would like to share with you. So it's very interesting, So there was a chai wala who used to bring chai to me every morning, and he was a little boy. So he said, "You give me some work." I said, I can't give you anything. I don't have money. And तेरे को आता भी क्या है? तू क्या करेगा? This is all engineering. He said, नहीं sir, आप जो बोलेगा मैं करेगा. Please give me some opportunity. I was also helpless. Those days I didn't realize that I was actually hiring child labor. But
Mhm.
no, I didn't have that, you know, concept, what you call seriousness of that consequence. So I said, "ठीक है, आजा," and I taught him. He was very actually why he asked me, because he was very curious to know, and he was a fast learner. That chai wala, and he learned, picked up very fast. And then there was one more person who came from nowhere, and he said, "Sir, I am all alone in Mumbai. You give me some job. I don't know anything." I said,
Mhm.
"Sorry." He said, "आप मुझे पैसा नहीं देगा चलेगा. You give me food and hire me as a watchman. Don't give me money." And
अरे
he used
बाप
to
रे.
sleep outside my factory.
Oh.
And slowly, he was also a fast learner. And after a few days, there's one guy who was a gangster, and who had gangster in Arun Gowli's gang,
Oh my
and
God.
there were people after him to kill him, which I had no idea. But he landed into my factory because he was looking for a place to hide.
Oh.
So he said, "Please give me some work. Even if you don't give me money, that's all right.
Oh
But
my
I'll
God.
stay here." So I had absolutely no idea about his background. So I hired him, and that is how my team was built up: a chai wala, a watchman, and a gangster.
Yeah.
But I must tell you, two of them are still with me after almost 20, 25 years. And that watchman, so called, now this guy is known as one of the best in industry for erection work.
अरे वाह.
And there are people who are offering him double the salary to hire, but he is not leaving me. And the chai wala, he is totally uneducated, but he can do. He's better than any qualified engineer.
Wow.
He's such an asset. I must tell you, he's such an asset that he sometimes does, more creativity than me even today.
Wow. So you still have
And
that
third,
industry going?
pardon?
You still have that industry going?
Yeah. We still have.
Oh, cool.
So, and the third gangster was he was there with me for some long time, and then he started his own business. He became a good person, and today he employs 35 people.
Wow.
So I realized one thing, that I had this skill of empowering people.
Wow. Very
So
nice.
since then, I had made a point that I would hire people who are probably undergrades or 12th or 10th. Then I train them. So all my employees today are they are not well qualified, but they are absolutely an asset. So I realize that is my strength, to empower people. And yeah, then um, I got married to Sucharita. She is a South Indian, and she's from Mangalore. So and she's a international sports person. So she's an athlete. So now you know that how I got into
I know
this.
that I knew that by much before, so I've come to your home and I've met her also. So she's
So
she's quite fit and athletic even now.
yeah, she's quite a fit athletic, and so gradually I progressed in my business, and God willing, with the grace of God, I progressed and I set up a factory. Now I'm doing very well. Uh, so as far as then I started marathon in 2008 or 2009, and then those days I used to play badminton because my cricket was gone. So I used to play badminton and I used to play well. So again, I remember what she said that जोश आता है तो होश नहीं रहता, something like that. So something happened with me. I was playing badminton and I went for an extravagant shot. I was almost flying in the air to take this because that was kind of final tournament types. So I kind of flew in the air to take the shot, and I had a very bad accident. I fell on my, and I then my knee was broken. I had a grade 4 tear in my meniscus. In
Oh my God.
I had a patella problem in my left knee, and I think almost 6 months I had to rest. So
Oh
I
my
used
God.
to go to my work by car, but then it was a very difficult time. So I stopped running. Eh, I was trying to recuperate, and I seriously kind of focused on my knee, and because I always wanted to run and do something. So in 2011, after 3 years, I attempted one more half marathon, which I completed in some 3 hours. Slowly,
Okay.
slowly, I completed in 3 hours, but I got a confidence. So my pain remained. If you recall, even when we met, I used to, mention this. But somehow, I consulted many doctors. So most of the doctors said that seeing your MRI, um, we must say that you should stop running. You should not run. So I change all the doctors.
Good.
I went to one doctor whose name is Dr. Chauhan. He's at Andheri. So he said, look, even I would be telling you the same thing that you should not run. But even despite of this injury, you've been running for 3-4 years, and you're continuing. I would say you continue, and that means I would come to a conclusion that you know your body, you know your injury, and you are doing all your activities well within your limitations. So that's okay. That's fine. You continue. So I continued running till 2014, 13 or 14. But I was getting, pain in my knee, and I was a bit worried about that. If I continue at this pace, maybe I would not last for a long time. So then I came across triathlon in the year 2014, and I heard about triathlon. I swimming, cycling, and running. So my old house, not the house that you had come, I used to stay in other society, which was also a good society. They had all the facilities, swimming pool, gym, and all. And I decided to do, or rather, decided to pursue triathlons. Only reason was because with triathlon I can cut down on my running. Maybe that means I'll go cycling was okay, swimming is good. So it appealed to me. So that was the only reason I shifted to triathlon, because I cut down on my running and I do swimming and cycling. And I remember I did my first triathlon there in my building only, uh, which was like some 250-meter swimming, some 8 kilometer cycling, and some 2 kilometer running.
So now you're laughing about it. That time it was a big thing for you.
Yeah, that time it was like big thing for me. So and but in 2015, Mumbai, there is no event happening in Mumbai. But I decided to continue my way. I bought cycle and I continued. I kind of started, uh, increasing the distance in triathlon and trying to progress there. I was enjoying. So frankly, I was enjoying doing triathlon swimming. I was enjoying more so because this was a new thing for all the people around me, and everybody used to amuse what this guy is up to. अभी स्विमिंग करता है, उसके बाद साइकिलिंग करता है, उसके बाद रनिंग करता है. So that kind of gave me a special feeling. Then people would ask more about triathlete than accomplished marathoners. So that I enjoyed that. So that was one of the reason I pursued further. And first triathlon I did was a sprint triathlon in Hyderabad
Oh,
uh,
okay.
in 2015, and it was very well organized in Gachibowli Stadium. So that was the first time, and I must tell you, I was scared of water.
Uh-huh.
I I was then really scared of water. I used to scared getting into the pool. In my building, it was just a 4 feet pool, so I was not scared over there. But here Gachibowli Stadium, the previous day, वो देख के मैं डर गया. मैं बोला
Yeah.
क्या होएगा? So luckily, there they had this lines, so you can hold on to ropes. I said अगर कुछ नहीं हुआ तो ropes पकड़ लेगा. But then I overcame my fear in swimming very fast. In swimming pool very fast. And that is how I continued. The other sport I remember is, I don't know whether I have mentioned to you, but it's a brain sport which is called pegging, which is a memory technique. And and I am a 4-time national champion in memory technique.
Wow.
So it's like, they ask you number and words, and I can remember up to 500 words.
Wow.
So they ask you like one number is table, two number is a class, three is chair, whatever, and up to 500 they give you number and object, and you have to remember that. Okay, and then they ask you 4 questions at a time, any random, that what was number 250 or 133 or 75 or 2, and you have to reply in the same sequence. There I'm a 4-time national champion.
Wow.
And I have also participated in international memory competition on a global platform, where I was. So they have a different technique, but in one of the technique or one of the discipline, I was among top 10. So
Wow.
I was like
International.
eighth or ninth.
Wow.
So, and this came very natural to me. I didn't make much of a practice, because the other peggers, the other players, they kind of do practice throughout the year. But I I was enjoying this. That's why I got into this, and I never did that hard practice. But it came very, maybe you can say I was gifted in this area, and I used to enjoy. So that is one part. Yeah, now I have two daughters. My elder daughter, she has now become a journalist, and she's in
Wow.
Bangalore. So she has done international journalism from UK, and now she's in Bangalore for 1.5 years, and she's doing good. My younger daughter, she's in class 8. Yeah, I guess I covered.
You covered a lot of topic. I was waiting for my chance to speak.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sorry.
No, 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 no,
Suresh.
no. I was enjoying the conversation. In fact, it was quite interesting to hear about your story because you've done so many things. You know, it's quite interesting to listen to your whole story. But let's wind up a little more back, right?
Yeah.
You said you were a cricketer in your school days, and you did win the inter-school championship, right? So, do you remember who was the man of the match and man of the series in that
In our school
tournament?
tournament.
Yes.
So, man of the series was Mayank Desai, my friend, and man of the match in final I was.
Oh, you're the.
Yeah, because I got not only we had done a very low score in final, and I went there as a opening batsman, and I was last man not out. So
Wow.
and I took some 5 catches in the match.
Wow.
So I was given that award.
Superb, super, very nice. So, do you remember the names of the people who, like the chaiwala, the watchman, and the gangster? Do you remember their names?
Yeah, yeah, I remember. Of course, I remember. The chaiwala was Vikas Bhaskar. Uh, the watchman is Ramdhani Yadav because they both are still with me. And the gangster was Gopal Teli.
Wow. You need to come little more to the camera. I think your head is getting covered.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. This is better. Good. So, you said you are an entrepreneur and you started that business ground up. What was the first check that you got?
My first, as I said, my professor gave me the order. His name was Suresh Jain. And the first check I remember was around 10,000 rupees.
Wow, that's a good amount. I think that time it was a very good amount.
Very good amount, yeah. Because he paid me after almost 1.5 to 2 months, and for all 1 month I used to do production, and then I
Wow,
got this.
wow, wow. So currently, how many people have you employed in your company now?
So currently I have about 22 people in my company.
Oh, cool. That's very nice. So in this period where you were trying to grow your company, you also did memory mapping as well as you also became a motivational speaker, right?
Yes.
So when did this motivational speaker thing also start?
So I underwent one leadership course in the year 1996, which is called Megarath Institute of Leadership Training,
Okay.
uh, conducted by a legendary trainer called Aparesh Acharya. He's an ex Dell Carnegie trainer. And that's where actually I forgot to mention that I developed all my confidence after doing that course. So, which was
Okay.
a 2.5 month rigorous course.
Wow. So that's nice. So now do you take these motivational sessions free or do you charge for them also?
No, I take it free because my trainer, Paresh Acharya, I am very close to him today. He's 82-year-old, retired, but I am very, very close to him. And he said, of course, a lot of my other classmates, they have become a big trainer. But Paresh said that you have a business, you are earning good, and I want you to do training, impart training in the society as a social service. So I'm continuing.
Wow. I think that's one thing that is very important for all of us. You know, just yesterday I was speaking to somebody and he was saying I'm in this lockdown I'm completely lost. I don't know what is the purpose of my life. And I told him, the only purpose of all our life is to be of service to humanity, to be of service to people who are living, any living being, not necessarily humans. So there are so many things that we can do, and not everything need not be everything monetarily. You can do everything which is like social, you know. And I think this is a great thing that you're doing. Imparting leadership skills is also one way to give back to the society what society has given you in terms of luck, I would say, or in terms of the beautiful humans that you've surrounded yourself with, right from the chaiwala to the watchman. They're all beautiful human beings that have come, and that I would say they got attracted towards you like a magnet, you know because what I feel, the universe, when there's a good person, there are people who get attracted towards that person, and I think that's what a good quality that you have, and you've attracted good energy around you, and that's what has made you successful. And I think this is a very important lesson for all of us to learn, that it's not necessary that when you do a business you always need to think selfish about yourself. You can do things in an unselfish manner and still grow your business. So I think you are one of the biggest examples that I have seen, you know with a very very unselfish attitude. You have attracted the right set of people.
Yes. I am also associated with Chinmaya Mission. Hello,
Sorry, I
can you
lost
hear?
you there.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, yeah.
So I am also associated with Chinmaya Mission.
Okay,
They've hired me as a trainer, and they have some wonderful module called emotional transformation
okay.
and spiritual transformation. So I do this module, training of this on this module in all the schools and colleges in Mumbai. So they send me to some school or college, and I go as per my convenience. And this is one activity which I am enjoying, and it's a very good module. You see, emotional transformation, it's for youngsters. So it's a very scientifically designed module which tells you how to take charge of our emotion, because emotion can either make you or break you.
Of course.
And emotion has got a lot of power. So if we can channelize emotions in a right direction, taking charge of our emotion, we can really use emotion as a tool to progress. We can turn it into a passion, and then we can really, because all this success, all this, see, when we do this Ironman and all, it's nothing but that passion, only, that emotional force behind it.
Of
You know,
course.
that's the real power behind it, more than our physical. So, and what I liked about this module is they don't tell you to suppress emotion. You see, first thing is we need to accept ourselves with our all good, bad, and ugly emotions. Only thing we should learn to express it in a better way
Mhm.
without blaming anyone.
Of course.
So that's a wonderful module, and right now I'm enjoying. Uh, so we were all the trainers were felicitated by government of Maharashtra.
Wow, that's very nice. So, one more question. Since you are a magnet, how did you attract your wife, who's completely South Indian? I know it's like Gujarati marrying a Karnataka is not very well known.
So actually, we met, in my office only. So we met, but then she was looking for a. She had come from Bangalore, and she was looking for a job in the school as a coach. And
Okay,
somehow, I don't know, she landed here, and she was doing some part-time work with me. But that time, nothing happened. I mean, then she left, and she joined in one of the premier school in Mumbai as a sports HR. That is called Cathedral and John. So all over the world they have three branches: Sweden,
okay.
UK, and Mumbai. So, so I kind of started missing her when she left.
Ah, okay. And then how you followed her, huh?
So then, and she used to be in touch with me. So slowly, then we became more than friends, and yeah, then we got into a relationship.
Okay, so there was both your families were not against it, or they were in for it, or you had to face those challenges also.
No, there were challenges also from her side and from my side, but we sailed through challenges.
So, what food is cooked at home? Is it Karnataka food or Gujarati food?
Oh, that's a very interesting question. I always tell people we cook gullu food.
Gullu.
So what is gullu? Gujarati and Gullu mixed.
Gullu, okay. That's a good combination.
So sometimes we have this thepla omelette and like that stuff we keep trying. But she's a good cook, so and I love Karnataka food, especially the Bangalorean food, especially mean gassi. That's a fish gravy with rice. So I enjoy.
So you're not a meat eater, right? Or you got converted after getting married?
I am not a meat eater, but I used to eat fish before I met her. So
Okay.
I was posted in Goa after completing my engineering for 6 months. And those days in Goa, you can't survive without fish.
Yeah, yeah.
So I started eating fish.
Okay, okay. So which is your favorite Karnataka food? Besi Bili Bath? No?
No, Messi bath is not Karnataka food. Na?
It is.
They they call it as a
Ah,
mean
okay.
gassi bath. And another favorite food is chicken kori roti, Mangalorean. So,
Okay.
so I'm talking about Mangalorean, not Kannadigan. So Mangalorean has a different.
Okay. Oh, okay. Mangalorean food. Okay. Mangalorean is different from. Okay.
She's a shetty basically.
Ah, okay. Oh, so that's a good. So you're enjoying both worlds. You're enjoying the snacks of Gujaratis and the meals of Kannadigas.
Yes,
So
yes.
I remember when I came to your house, you also showcased your wine bar, and then you said that I have to hide this wine bar when my family comes in, and I have to when their family comes in, I have to open it.
Yes, yes. But
So
now even my family has accepted me as a corrupt Gujju, so no problem.
okay, so that's a good thing. So when did you all get married? Which year you all got married?
So 98
'98. Which month?
December.
Okay, December. Oh, you don't remember? Looks like you. Now, if your wife sees this video, she's going
Good,
to shoot you now.
good that my wife is not around.
Don't worry, this is recorded, my dear. She will anyways listen to this.
Right.
I can't believe it. Even I forgotten my anniversary. Just last year when somebody asked me, I was just taken aback, and I couldn't remember the exact date. So even not now, also my wife teases me. You know, do you know
So
the
there is
date?
Sunil. So there is a little. There are certain affairs which are bit more what I call the confidential. So is but I have no harm in sharing with you. So actually, my current wife, she's my second wife, and my first wife, I got married in 1993 at a very early age. Because in our Gujarati, we marry very early. Uh, but very soon we discovered that she was not interested in what we call sansara. and she always wanted to pursue a spiritual life, but
Oh,
probably she was forced into marriage. So, in fact, we handled very well. We never had any fight, and because we had a problem so earlier, so I kind of encourage her to open up that what she wanted. And one day she opened up that she doesn't enjoy this worldly life. So then I asked her that what she want to do then now, and she said no, she wanted to pursue spiritual life, and she wanted to become a nun. So we discussed with the family and all, and luckily we separated in a very harmonious way. And even today, she wears all the saffron, and she is into that life, and she does all what you call spiritual. She does spiritual discourses, and she's with some guru. So So that was one area that I had to go through. That both of us had to go through that ordeal, and because she came from a very conservative family, and she could not tell all these things to her parents. But in a way, today she thanks me that I helped her.
I think that's your greatness also, that in spite of all these things, you still let her pursue her own wish. And I think that's your greatness. And I don't think there's any harm in sharing this. I think it's part and part of your life and your personality and your greatness also. And I think whatever you have done is also, you got a blessing in a way where you've prospered from where you are. So I think your good deeds are things that have made you count and made you successful. That's what I believe. And
And
I think,
my first daughter is from my elder daughter. She's from my first wife.
oh,
So and I am fortunate that my current wife and she has accepted her, and we are a happy family. I'm really thankful to my wife. She has handled uh, all of us very well. So I'm
I think
fortunate.
I think you're blessed to have such wonderful people around you.
Yes.
You've done some great karma.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe God's grace.
It's not God's grace; it's your grace. It's always the work that you do. It's like karma will always follow you, right? So I think that's a wonderful story, with which people should learn and inspire. And I think that's what even I want to do whenever I want to do business, whether it is coaching or whatever. I want to conduct it in the most ethical manner, and I feel doing it in ethical manner is much way to grow rather than just expand and then you know do random work. And I think what you are shown is also inspirational for me, seeing that such things do happen and such people can be successful also. So good. So in this whole lockdown period, now what are you doing currently? How does your day start and end?
So yeah, in fact, because since this is the opportunity we got now at present, we are three of us, myself, my wife, and younger daughter. So we kind of chat till bit late, and we go to bed little late than usual. So I get up around 7:30, and but I continue all my routine. Whatever I used to get on my TP app, I have the trainer at home, so cycling is not an issue. And I used to also run at home. But you see, I missed your mind body workout in last week because somehow I was under the impression that it's live and I have to get up at 6 o'clock and do it. But then later on, I realized that there's a recording I can do it anytime. So
Yeah.
I started it from today. So I
Oh,
have
okay.
done this. I've done this strength training today, and I really enjoyed it. And I could do around 50% of what you did.
That's good. That's very nice. So good. At least you're participating in the virtual sessions. I think that's a very good thing.
So after my workout, even after my workout, we have breakfast. I'm now helping my wife in doing house chores, uh, whatever I can. So I'm doing all the cleaning work. I'm doing utensils. I'm doing clothes, whatever I can. I'm trying to help her. And then we have every alternate day we have internal factory meeting on the Zoom. Uh, and then, as I said, I am into training, so I have done some training also.
Okay.
I'm open to do training on any module for our member also. I'm open to do so 1.5. Open.
Yeah, I think that will be good. I think we can have one session for our trainees also. I think mental conditioning is something that you can help us with.
Yeah, I can give member tips on.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think that is good. So thanks for volunteering. We should make use of your expertise. I think that will be
And
good.
one more thing, we are a group of professional in Mumbai, and we run house for destitute children. It's a children home, and we have a residential school in the remote area of Bihar. So, which was set up by none other than my guru Amrish Acharya, and it's a state of art school, residential school with everything gym, full fledged school. And then we have 100 boys who are underprivileged, orphans, and we give them everything. And I am in charge of the maintenance committee there. So I'm actively involved in this activity for last 15, 20 years.
Wow.
And I must tell this, 15, 20 years ago, some kids we had picked up from slums in Chembu. They had no parent, nothing, no food to eat. They're almost on roads. And we picked up them and they studied in our school there 20 years ago. And now today they are highly successful. One of them is pursuing his PhD in US.
USA. Wow.
In USA, one of the boy is having running an IT company in Bangalore, and he
Wow.
has got 70 employees under him.
Wow.
So all these kids, they are like my son, and they shower a lot of love on me. They are very close to me. So जो मेरा bottle दिखाया ना मेरा wine bar,
Ah.
those these boys they travel internationally and they know that I like good international spots, so they bring it for me as a love.
Wow, that's so nice. That's so wonderful. It's I think it's another perspective. Thanks for bringing that up too. Social worker, and I think to get people from slums and right on top to be CEOs of leading companies, PhD. I think it's remarkable. I think that's your real success story. I would say from all these things, I would say the real success is how many people you have brought up in life, right? And they must be even more successful than you, and that is one of the most satisfying things when you look back and say,
In fact, Sunil, when they were in that school in Bihar, so I was their parent and in Mumbai, and they used to write letters to me, from
"Wow,
there. And when you come here, I'll show you those letters. You
definitely,
know,
definitely,
it'll put tears in your eyes.
of course." No, I think hearing your story itself is so remarkable.
So sometimes people ask me, "What are your great achievements?" And I showed those letters. I said, "I may have earned a lot of money, but even that, not a lot of money, but okay, decent money. I'm not very rich, but okay, I'm comfortable." So when I got my first 1 lakh rupees check, जो उतना खुशी नहीं मिला जितना ये लेटर पढ़ के मिला मुझे.
बरोबर है ना. I know
So
that.
that is अच्छा.
That's great, great. I mean, thanks again for telling this story up. And I think if you would have not, I would have not listened to this. It would have been a big miss, I would say. You know, so I think that's a very critical part of your life that you brought up. So coming back again, what are your future goals that you plan to do now that lockdown is there? Maybe we don't know now which event we can do. So how are you keeping yourself motivated now?
So Sunil, I must say that this lockdown has it's a blessing in disguise for me till date, because I got a lot of time to do introspect and do contemplation on my life. And the last few days, I am so I feel that after the lockdown, my life would be different. Uh, you see, you asked me about the goal. So I must tell you one thing that making a lot of money has never excited me. All I wanted in life was to have a good house, because I had that frustration of leaving my old house and staying in a very small house. So that was one thing that I wanted to do, and I could manage a good house. You have seen my house. But beyond that, I don't have drive for making a lot of money. So in fact, I'm trying to build up my company, and so my 5 year professional goal is my during 5 year I'll build up my company and trying to build up a good valuation for my company so that I can sell my company,
Wow.
and I can get some decent amount. I'm not very greedy person. I'm only looking at some decent amount where I can support my family and we can survive comfortably. And I must tell you that this lockdown last few days, I've realized that you know within me there is no drive for kind of show off, doing show off to the world, buy a high end cars and all that. So I've realized that you know, if I even if I stick to my basic needs, it's fine with me. I get comfortable life and I give comfortable life to my children and my family. That's good enough for me. So that is my professional goal. As far as my personal goals are concerned, I have missed a lot of. I'm fond of traveling, so now I want to visit all those places where I could not because of this mad rush. Because I'm all one man show in my business, so somehow I was becoming part of the red race, which I want
Mm.
to stop. So I have made some notes in my diary on places to visit. Then I want to do a lot of reading also. And so personal growth is on my card as far as my goals are there. And then socially, I would involve gradually more and more as I can. So basically, I want to make sure that whatever I have within me is brought out and is expressed out.
Wow. I think it's a wonderful journey that you have done, and it's nice that you're thinking of slowing down and enjoying your life to the fullest. And I think all the best to you. I think you will surely reach your destination because your karma is there to protect you and make your dreams true.
Yeah.
So good. Any closing comments?
Uh, yeah, I mean, about me, I think I've said everything. And I mean, as you said, my good karma has attracted you also in my life.
Okay, yeah, I think I will allow that also. It makes
But
me feel good.
I must say, you have been, you have. created a lot of impact in my life because right from the time I met you first in Goa, I was really impressed by you and the way you imparted training. In fact, I told my other trainers, Aparesh Acharya. So I found that you are in similar line with Aparesh Acharya. He was a taskmaster. You too are a taskmaster, but what I appreciate about you, you have a genuine concern towards people's growth. So which I really like, and I must say I have discovered myself endurance wise. I never thought I would do Ironman, and I have discovered all my potential, and your contribution is immense. And I can see most of other trainees under you like me. They also have a similar feelings to share. So please continue the way you are doing, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you. I think it's people like you, I know, who are encouraging me and who are motivating me. I think we are all attracting positive energy and really good people around us. So I am truly blessed, in fact, to be coaching you. I've learned a lot from you, I would say. So many things, small things, but they are so significant, and they make such a big difference in our life. I think what I've learned from you is also very immense. So thank you so much for
Thank you,
for being
Sunil.
part of my life also, and thank you for giving me the privilege to coach you also. So
No, no, that is entirely pleasure is mine. Thank you. You are there. And one more thing, I forgot to mention that I love to motivate youngsters because I, as a youngster, I had no direction. Whatever I have learned, I've learned after lot of struggle and lot of painful experiences. But then I realized how it is important for youngsters who are on the threshold of making their career. If they are given a right direction, they can probably save a lot of time in their life, and they can. So that is one contribution I want to do as much as possible.
awesome, awesome. All the very best today, and
Thank you.
thanks for your time. And I think people are going to love this interview because I love listening to every bit of it, and every bit of it is such a huge story. In fact, we should make a movie out of this whole thing. It's a very super duper hit movie, and you should write a script and give it to Salim Khan or whoever who can make this movie on your life.
In fact, some of my friends tells me the same thing. In fact, when we meet one to one, probably I can share because this platform I cannot share everything, but my life has been very
I think you
probably
should write
when
a book. I would say, what I would say is you should write a book on your life, and share your experiences, because these are all beautiful experiences. And it does not matter how many people read it or whatever. It does not matter whether it's a top seller or not, but writing your thoughts, writing your life, I think it's going to be inspiration for many people around.
yeah, I will because my father was a writer, and I have also won. Okay, I have also won some championship in writing papers also.
My
So
God, what else is left for you to win now? You've done everything.
I have actually won five national champion cups for writing papers on spiritual subjects. And
Oh,
my best paper title was loneliness versus solitude, where I have mentioned difference between loneliness and solitude. So that paper has won lot of accolades, and my guru also liked that paper.
oh, wow. I think we should have part two of this interview where we also
Maybe
discuss these things.
now it will be. So when we want to, and maybe over a glass of beer, we can share more.
Yeah, definitely. I think loneliness versus solitude is very good topic when when you're having a cup of
Correct.
yeah. So cheers, mate. Thanks you so much for your time. God bless you,
Thank you.
and have a great time, and give my regards to your family. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
And see you soon.
See you.
Bye bye.